Welcome to On Capitol Hill with Congressman Lloyd Smucker, a weekly legislative update to keep you informed on the latest issues. Congressman Smucker, you are a member of the bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, which has a back-to-work checklist to get the economy going again. Can you tell us more about this effort?
Sure, Greg. That's right. It's the Problem Solvers Caucus is a group of 50 members, 25 Republicans and 25 Democrats. And we've come together to release a comprehensive plan called the Reopening and Recovery Back to Work Checklist. And it recognizes that we're fighting this battle on two fronts. One is to provide for the public's safety and health, and then the other is for the health of our economy. The plan is collaborative, it's multifaceted, it's data-driven, and by the way, it's how Congress should work. It's a group of people coming together to agree on a simple premise that we should be working together to find common ground, and that's exactly what this plan is. It's a holistic look at the steps that we need to take to get America back to work. Touches on everything from the supply chain support, PPE, the need for more testing, workforce development, and more. And all of those things are absolutely are critically important. I'll mention as well that just earlier this week, Congress passed additional funding for testing, additional support for hospitals, and additional support for the Payroll Protection Plan, which is a plan that's been very highly successful in providing support to small businesses to keep employees on payroll. In fact, that program has helped 1.6 million loans so far have been distributed in the program. The average loan is for less than $150,000. So it's really helped a lot of our small Main Street family-owned businesses. And I want to say one other thing while we're having discussions about returning to work. We do have to recognize two things. One is that social distancing worked. It still works. It's been successful in slowing the spread of the coronavirus, and that we do still need to continue to follow the recommendations of CDC as we do return back to work. We can and should reopen businesses. For instance, the construction industry. There are a lot of businesses where individuals can safely follow social distancing guidelines of work in a safe manner.
Governor Tom Wolf unveiled his statewide reopening plan. Can you give us your thoughts of his plan?
Yeah, so I give the governor credit for making very tough decisions, obviously being in that position to protect the lives of Pennsylvanians. But I do have some concerns with his plan. I just think, for one thing, he's moving too slowly to allow business to open. In fact, there are businesses that the governor has chosen to close down. I already mentioned construction, that I don't think ever needed to be closed down at all. We need to understand that it's important to keep this economy moving. And if a business can operate while practicing the social distancing guidelines, they should be able to do so. And I fully believe that we need to do this social distancing, need to continue to do so. But we have to also understand the impact on people who've lost their jobs, who have maybe are very uncertain about a business that they've worked all their lives to build. And so I just encourage the governor to open up as quickly as we can while ensuring that we're protecting people's safety and health. And the other thing, I'd encourage him to provide just more clarity and more transparency to his administration's decision-making. There just hasn't been enough of that. I think the waiver process, frankly, has been a disaster. And it's also, this isn't a time for really partisan policy proposals. There's some of those in his plan. That's just not something that's necessary at this time. I do want to say one thing before we leave as well. It's National Volunteer Week, Greg. I'd just like to close by thanking everyone who has shared in the work to slow the spread, who continue to do so, who are working hard to ensure that ultimately we are going to defeat COVID-19. There's so many people who volunteered their time and talents to ensure that our community comes through this stronger than ever. I want to mention, as I have before, we continue to field a lot of calls about how to access the federal benefits and people who may have questions, and we continue to be available to do so.
Thank you, Congressman Smucker. We look forward to hearing from you next time.
Thank you, Greg.
Tune in again next time for On Capitol Hill with Congressman Lloyd Smucker.